Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Mark again here at Weatherman Plus. Now, we have part one of part two of these extreme weather patterns that is coming. The one for this week is going to be that big warm up. Then, as we go into this weekend, still showing that cold blast coming through, is going to bring more chances for storms as we go into this weekend into next week. Now, this is going to bring more chances for snowstorms and ice storms, but also severe weather. Now, we still have severe weather for tomorrow and still have chances for tornadoes. We have the 2% over here across the southeast, and we have the 2% over here for California. So I'm going to go through that as well. Now, y'all remember my forecast yesterday of what's happening for the rest of winter, and that is showing true still so far, everybody. Matter of fact, we're seeing a little bit of a warmer pattern coming along, so I'm going to show you the latest information of what you can expect from your weather right around the corner. Now, we're going to start with what's first, the severe weather, the chance for tornadoes for tomorrow for Saturday. You can see thunderstorms in any of these green areas, but you do have a 2% chance for tornadoes for California, also over here along the southeast. So here's your cities and states at risk for a potential tornado threat for tomorrow, for Saturday. And I'm showing also southern Alabama could be in there a little bit more. Now, this is going to bring a small hail threat along the southeast as well. So here's your cities at risk and your states for chances for hail for Saturday. This is bringing some winds as well. I'm showing a bigger wind impact coming for the west coast and a smaller impact for the southeast. But still, here's your cities and states at risk for possible damage and winds for Saturday. Now, you can still see as we go into this afternoon, we still have those storms coming across for the southeast. It's just going to be regular thunderstorms for tonight, while you get the banding of storms all the way from Northern California going into Oregon. And by the time you go through midnight, that's going to move across the southeast from Georgia towards South Carolina, a little bit of Florida. But it's going to continuously bring thunderstorms over here for California and bring a lot of heavy snow for the higher elevations, possibly within the next 2 to 3 days, anywhere from 5 to 10 feet of snow from this strong storm system hitting along the west coast. And as you can tell, there's a lot of chances for these cells to become water spouts out here into the Pacific and actually come on shore and be a potential tornado as we go through for Saturday all evening long. Now, we will go through that in just a moment, but you can tell with the wind gusts as we go through for Friday night into Saturday that it does pick up even for Sunday. Just a lot of winds continuously pushing in all the way from the west. This is coming in from California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, even Utah and Wyoming and Montana will feel these winds eventually as you go through for Sunday. This is bringing chances for 40 miles per hour wind gusts in the green, 50 in the orange, but you start getting a pocket of 60 right along the coast of Northern California and Oregon. And with these very strong storms hitting the cold temperatures, bringing a wallop of snow. Look at this. The higher elevations of California could see all the way up, we'll say 5 to 10 feet just to be generous. Now, over here along the southeast, we get a lot of cape, a lot of lift. We get some warmth, and it helps with our dew points as well as we go through for Friday night, but really into Saturday evening, where you get a big pocket of strong lift. This will help all these thunderstorms pop off a little bit stronger as it goes from Alabama into Georgia and the panhandle of Florida as you go through for Saturday evening. Then it quickly dissolves and goes offshore, bringing a lot of strong storms offshore as well. Matter of fact, that's where I'm showing so far where the strongest winds will be. But still, showing the impacts are very minimum on the hail. Each one of these cells coming through could bring some hail with it, mostly showing for Georgia for the hail and the damage and winds. Showing you could get a pocket of the 40, the 50 miles per hour wind gusts in some of these cells, very isolated into Georgia as of the latest runs. Really could get stronger for 40 miles per hour wind gusts or a little bit stronger towards the coast of the panhandle of Florida. But look how these storms strengthen as it goes offshore. Now, this is a tornado threat, and it will be for tomorrow for Saturday. So I will do a quick upload tomorrow morning to give you the latest update on what's going on with these thunderstorms and where they moved around to. So showing that you will get those thunderstorms as you go through this evening, starting around 4 o'clock, starting getting some thunderstorms rolling through all from northern Mississippi, going through southern Tennessee, northern Alabama, and we'll go later this evening from central Alabama across northern Georgia. then into central Georgia as you go overnight. But for tomorrow, this is where the bigger day is, your chances for tornadoes, as all this congeals together from the Gulf and from the west and bring you chances for strong cells. Showing still that you can go all the way from eastern and southern Alabama as you go through for 11, 12 o'clock tomorrow morning, while you get some thunderstorms coming across for the panhandle of Florida, a little bit for southern Georgia. But as you go through the evening, it's going to start building up the chances for these supercells to pop off as you go through from 12 o'clock towards 1 o'clock for southern Alabama, the panhandle of Florida, even some coming through for Georgia. While you got this cluster might bring some winds, but it's going to be some heavy rainfall coming with that. But after you go by 1, 2 o'clock is a very strong part of the afternoon. So now you're starting to see some hail cores and some of these cells coming across for the northern panhandle of Florida, southern Georgia. So be aware all the way from Valdosta, all the way towards Tallahassee, all the way towards Albany. A good chance as these storms come by for 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. 3 o'clock, really congealing together, starting to become a damage and wind event, trying to get stronger. You can see chances for water spouts coming on shore over here for the southern Florida panhandle, while you get a lot more hail cores in this line of storms coming through for Georgia. Then as we go from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock, they move very quickly, start becoming that damage and wind event. You see, you get that Bowen feature in there. Also over here across South Carolina, you start getting that Bowen feature as it goes by for Charleston, as you go by for 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. It really starts clustering up and just becomes a lot of heavy rain before it strengthens up right offshore still showing that's where a lot of the damage and winds and the storms will be as well. But there is a chance, there's a few hours where this gets really intense, all the way from 1 p.m. all the way towards 5 o'clock. So be aware, it is going to be a chance for some strong storms tomorrow across the southeast and the west coast. I didn't forget about you. Matter of fact, your storms could extend into Sunday as well. So you can see your tornado threat. You can see your 2% that you have for your chance for tornadoes. And as you're going through later this evening, remember, once again, this is Central Time up here on top. This starts swinging through a banding of storms all the way around 9 and 10 o'clock. For Northern California, this will head a little further northern into Oregon as you go overnight into the early morning hours, also for the coast of Washington. It's going to be stronger over here for Oregon than Washington. It's going to be stronger over here for California than Oregon. But this brings a lot of snow overnight as well. But once you go into tomorrow, then you start getting some strong banding of where you can possibly get some water spouts. Probably going to stay a damage and wind event from the way it's looking. But you could have a quick cell that's inbind in this front right here that could spin up really fast and they go away really fast as well. So you really need to watch out. And it is showing more of Northern California really is where you have a bigger threat for these storms to hit. A lot of snow in the higher elevations, but over here for Northern California is where everything's really starting to spin and rotate. The best chance for damage and winds, but also maybe chances for tornadoes to come on shore for tomorrow evening. Bringing a lot of snow, but it is going to bring a lot of storms also towards Oregon around that. You see how the storms start clustering up? But look at this. After you go by for tomorrow night, possibly bringing in more storms all over again for Sunday for California. So I will keep you updated. Now for the rest of the weather pattern in the rest of the country, you can see we're still stuck into that blocking pattern for the Midwest, going out through the Great Lakes and the Northeast all the way until Sunday, and then Sunday evening getting that snowstorm still, bringing chances for freezing rain. Now we've been in this blocking pattern for quite some time, so if you didn't know about it, make sure you go watch my past videos. I've been forecasting this blocking pattern and it's showing true. So is the warm-up that's coming right behind this. Also what's coming right behind that. But showing it's going to be very hazardous for your travels as you go through for Sunday evening. From Minnesota going through Wisconsin, maybe even a little bit of Iowa and Illinois, bringing chances for sleet, freezing rain, and major snowfall all the way until Monday morning across the Great Lakes and some of the interior Northeast, while we stay in this warmer weather pattern all week long and get chances for multiple times for this warmer temperatures to come north, the colder temperatures on the very northern side, and that mixture of the freezing rain and the sleet. Just a little bit could add up more and more. Showing just for the next 5 days, we're probably going to have 2 little clippers that's going to come by. showing that freezing rain and some ice really could build up over here from Minnesota going through northern Wisconsin, even some for Nebraska down here. And right on top of that is going to be that snow, then another little piece that could add to it, mostly northern on the other little piece towards Michigan UP and northern Michigan, showing a major snowstorm could add up for all the snow coming through. And you can also see in the ensembles, the Euro has the most ensembles. That's why it has the best predictions from what I can see. It's most accurate. Now, each one of these is a potential model run. They change the data, a little bit more colder temperatures, a little bit more moisture, a little bit more winds. Each one is a little bit different, so you can try and find the trend of what more than likely will happen. And you can see in all these ensembles, it looks like it's all going to be far northern on the snow. Northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin, northern Michigan, but the UP of Michigan could be the heaviest. See how it trends all northern on all these for the snowfall. And the freezing rain and the ice is going to be right below it. These are the other 25. Euro has 50 members. GFS has 30 or 31. So you can see the average of all these potential runs of what more likely will happen. Now, as we go through this week, you can see over here on your EPO, your East Pacific Oscillation, this is your jet stream on the West Coast, showing that we're still going into a very high ridge. This is going to be an incredible warm-up that we have as we go through January. We're going to be talking about warmer temperatures. And this is lasting all the way for the first 5 to maybe even up to the first 10 days of January. Then it's still going right into that deep trough right after that for the rest of January. So if you didn't hear about what the weather pattern is going to do right around the corner after this week, make sure you go watch my last video. That way you can be updated of what's going on for the rest of winter. So you can see way up in your tropopause, you have all these warmer temperatures coming across from the west as we go through this weekend across the central U.S. And then it will transition all the way across towards the eastern U.S. as we go through this week. Look how this warmth just builds and stays all week long. Then we have a new weather pattern coming in, potentially a warmer one at that. We still have that blocking pattern, so we still have that below average anomaly through the Great Lakes, the Midwest, also through the Northeast, even all the way down towards a little bit of the Mid-Atlantic. But these warm temperatures will go all the way across Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then as we go through Friday, we're going to see a change. Matter of fact, Climate Prediction Center is agreeing with my forecast, and they put this out from January 7th through the 11th that we have a big above average anomaly coming through, and this is where we're going to get that deep trough coming through, building that high ridge, and bringing in thunderstorms for severe weather, also for snow and freezing rain. I've been forecasting this a little over a week ago, maybe close to 10 days. So make sure you subscribe and follow along for updates, because you will hear it first what's right around the corner with your weather. You can also see on the precipitation outlook that we have a big above average precipitation coming through as well. So this is just a big setup for severe weather and strong storms. And with that colder air staying towards the north, we're going to see a lot of snowstorms coming through as well. Matter of fact, our latest outlook on the risk for heavy snow. This is all the way from January 9th all the way towards the 15th as we're in this weather pattern for the first half of January. Right below that line is going to be the slight risk for heavy precipitation. So you can clearly see that trough going up on that higher ridge, with the warmer temperatures below, the cooler temperatures above. Now you can clearly see this as you go into Thursday. As we're getting that deep trough of cooler air coming through, we're getting that higher ridge of warmer temperatures as well, showing a chance for a storm to build up right across the central, right across mid-Mississippi Valley, going towards Ohio Valley. Now showing that it's going to be multiple storms. The first one I'm still showing is not meeting up with the cold temperatures. So this will be severe weather. There's not be a chance for a snowstorm on the first one. But as we go deeper with that trough, remember the data I showed you, this is where we could get the next one. The latest projections show that is not possible so far, and that's already going 10 days. But you see how much further the colder air is than from the last update. So here's what you can expect for your temperatures, everybody. So as we go through for our highs for today, you're going to warm right back up, getting to the 70s, even the 80s down here for Texas. You're going to stay frozen because you're still locked in that blocking pattern across the north. And with the wind chills, it's still going to be a pretty brutal cold. And as we go through for for tomorrow morning. The cold air is going to continuously stay in the north, including with the wind chills. It will come a little bit deeper, but it will warm right back up again for tomorrow, for Saturday. Now, you will still stay in that blocking pattern over here across the Midwest, Great Lakes, out through the Northeast, just like we forecasted a few days ago. It's going to stay in that pattern all the way till Sunday, but you're going to stay warmer on the western and southern half of the U.S., at least for the lower 48. Now, with the wind chills, you're still going to have a brutal cold for tomorrow, even for your highs. But look at the week coming, everybody. As we go through for our high temperatures, as we go through for Monday, look at this warmer temperatures across the south, even across the north. You're going to be in the high 30s and the 40s. As we go through for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, before we have another big change. That's going to be part 2 of the weather pattern extreme changes. Just like I showed you yesterday, I will update this again on Sunday. Now, that is your latest weather forecast and your latest weather update, everybody. So thank you again for your time. Hope you have a very blessed and a very happy weekend. There's the chances for these tornadoes still for tomorrow. So we'll do a quick morning upload just to give you the latest information. Then I will see you again on Sunday. Do make sure you like the video. Share this video to other people. Let them see what's going on if you have time. And don't forget to hit that hype button if you have any points left. Thank you so much. And before I go, a quick word from our Father, everybody. Romans 12, 1 through 6. This is Paul speaking. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as God hath dealt to every man the measure of faith. For as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office, so we, being many, are one body in Christ, and every one members one of another. Amen. Have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning for a quick update on the severe weather. Remember to always help those that are less fortunate than you. Whatever is in your path that you can help out, do so accordingly with a cheery heart, and don't expect anything in return, everybody. Above all things, all glory does go to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I always hope he keeps you safe every single day of your life and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning for a quick update.